And welcome to another video. So today we are checking out an Evo of Blood. We have checked out Evo Blood not too long ago, but I wanted to check a different kind of one out. It's just running a few different cards here. Stuff that you usually play a lot, I guess, which is pretty normal, but I quite enjoyed Evo Blood, so I thought why not take a look at it again. So we will get right into it and take a look. Okay, kicking us off here, Shadow. Actually one of the better matchups you could get for this deck, usually. I found I have a lot of an awkward time against Macaroon occasionally and against Portal in particular. They tend to be the hardest two matchups, and since they are some of the top decks, it's definitely why this deck is on the back burner for that. But it's still a very powerful deck overall. It just happens to be that the meta is suppressing it fairly well at the moment. So we don't have any other turn 2 play other than Berserker, which honestly is pretty fine as a 2-2 play. So now's a good chance to throw down a Urias, since we know Shadow wants to play followers a lot of the time. So we can get some value out of that. And now's a good chance for Unleash. Why not? I mean, we've already got Urias on board. We're just going to generate some followers and draw some cards. Lara Soul Taker though. That's an interesting one. I'm guessing they played that just because they had to at that point. Because usually you want to use Soul Taker in conjunction with another card that you can of course gain advantage out of. Like Mordecai or something. So Trish it is. I did make a small error when playing Trish here. I probably shouldn't have went for the maids there, but I did, so that's how things are going to go now. On the bright side, we've actually got some decent lineup of plays here with Urias and of course Warring Flame, I think it is. So the Urias, the Warring Flame, that actually gives us a good way to remove at least the two bigger cards out of this. Plus we get the free Evos, which is going to help us out big time in the long run. Since Zeus is the primary win con of this deck, and typically the way you're going to win most games, you definitely want to be reasonably careful. Now I get a good chance to remove this and set up some ward, plus getting the damage to face when we have Zeus in hand is important. We still have Calamity, which is going to be a good opportunity to of course remove opponent's board as well, so hopefully that won't be necessary, but if it is, we'll go for it. It's pity I can't buff Zeus, although I definitely should have buffed Commander instead if I was looking for that, instead of buffing the Shadow Devil. But I mean, at this point, we're probably not even going to need Zeus. We've already got a really good setup here. And we can actually win as long as they don't play a ward. Even if they remove both these followers, so. Even that healing now, not a big deal. Our 6-1 got to remain, so Enraged Commander plus the little 2 drops, either one of them would have been fine. We even could have buffed them with the Entrancing Blow if we needed. And that gives us well and truly lethal at this point. Very easy to set those sort of plays up as well, so Zeus doesn't need to be a win con, but it's definitely a primary one. Now some Blood versus Portal.
Time to get started.
Activate. Enhance. Fire.
I'm starting off with a reasonably okay hand. Not something that you want to keep every game, but I definitely don't mind the Urias early. That definitely can be quite good against Portal in particular. It's usually the one card that actually can do well, as it does have to be destroyed. That doesn't mean it is the be-all and end-all though, and since we don't really have a good 2-drop here, we're going to probably be forced to play Warring Thunder if we want to actually play anything. So it's definitely not the best way to have to do this turn, but I mean, it's something at this point. Now Urias, I mean, why not? We don't really have anything else. Hamlet though is going to ruin it a little bit. So I do really want to be able to destroy Hamlet. And it gives us a good opportunity actually to get our Blood Moon for a Wonder Cost. That's actually looking really good. Now, I should have killed off the other one. Made a huge error there. If I had of, I wouldn't have had to worry about the fact that they can actually negate Urias' ping. And it would have been much better.
The world has reached its conclusion.
Consider my interest piqued.
Behold the fire.
Now, I do have to deal with all of this. This is where things get a little rough for me. Now, if I play the Evo, I would lose too much health. I couldn't really risk that at this point in the game. So I definitely just had to leave that. But I did get at least to take out the biggest follower, being the Maisha. So that was a good positive.
Nothing stays hidden from me.
And I could go for the Evil Side Serpent next turn. So with the Medusa, that's going to look quite good. But we have also now got the Berserker and the Azazel there. So why not use them? I mean, at this point, I would have only got one removed follower instead of two this way, so, I mean, worked out a little bit better. Plus, we can still use Medusa next turn if we need it, or Calamity Bringer, so I'm quite happy with either of those options. And we get another 1-cost Blood Moon when we find this follower destroyed. Now, I have to decide, Calamity Bringer is probably not worth it to remove a 3/4. And I end up getting a full rehash of All Out Evolution, so why not? That was actually a really nice top deck. And I get a chance to set up another Blood Moon. Might seem a bit counterproductive that we are losing one countdown on it, but I felt like it was the better option to do it now when I can take advantage of Destructive Succubus and Calamity Bringer than to do it later when I wouldn't be able to use that as effectively. Although I probably could have done it next turn either way, so I just made the decision based on what I thought was okay. Mechanization into more artifacts. Really, the only trouble we're going to have now is Maisha. We have to be able to deal with that as effectively as possible. We've already seen one Maisha, so this is the second one. Which means they probably have the third one in hand, if I had to guess. So from this point, we definitely need to set up some wards. We can't afford not to. Which is disappointing, but that's just the way things have to go. And now a little bit of buffing, just so I have a chance to potentially go for lethal next turn.
This beautiful night will last forever.
Because I will be able to use Commander and Destructive in the same turn, plus the Evo on the Commander, giving us a 7-13 there. Plus, if we can retain the 8, we can win, but I don't see us maintaining the 8 that likely, but if it's possible, I'll take it. Alright, oh wow, that was a interesting move. Obviously they did run out of artifacts, so that definitely set up the lethal for us right there. Actually, looking at it, we would have been able to get 16 damage, so we would have only been 1 off either way with this play.
Your dying screams, music to my ears.
So that worked out quite well. Didn't end up needing Zeus at all for these matches, which is great. And while we didn't need Zeus, that was definitely still worthwhile to have in the deck, just in case. You saw how much we were able to evo with this deck, and it is a crazy amount. But overall, I was very happy with it. It did a really nice job, and it definitely holds its own in most situations. Of course, you still will run into trouble against Rune and Portal, typically, but hopefully with the next expansion, with whatever cards do remain, of course, because of course some of these will probably be rotating out, we'll still be able to use it in a deck like this pretty effectively without much trouble. So if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. You'll find the deck list in the description below. Until next time, guys, see ya.